you fail to do the things you're supposed to do, or if you do things that you're not supposed to do, your conscience tortures you and tells you that you're not acting in accordance with the central spirit of your being. And I'm attempting to explain to people that the West is predicated on the idea in some sense that we co-create reality as individuals, each of us, and that there's suffering to overcome and there's malevolence to constrain in your own heart and in the hearts of other people and in the social structures, and that if you don't stand up and adopt that responsibility, then you leave the world lesser and more cruel and harsh than it has to be. And I believe that the notion that the West developed over thousands of years of the sovereign individual, the individual has the right to vote, right? Who has the right to make their political creed and statement known. We developed that idea because we realized, we understood that it was true. And I go around the world and I talk to people about the fact of suffering in life and the fact of malevolence in life and the fact that you need a destiny and a calling that justifies the trouble of the world. And you find that in the pursuit of responsibility. And everyone understands that. They know that deeply in their heart, and it's inescapable. You will torture yourself if you do not live up to that. And if you do live up to it, then things work if you want what's better for you. Not in a selfish manner, but in a manner that's better for you and better for your family and better for your country. And you envision that you can have it. And you can have it by aiming at it, and you can have it by telling the truth, because the truth is what makes the world go around. We're hurt, and we're disappointed, and we're betrayed, and we're fragile, and it's very difficult to want the best under those circumstances. You have to garner the moral courage to be grateful and to work for the betterment of the world. And then, as I said before, you have to tell the truth. And the consequence of not doing that is to lead everything down the wrong path. And the wrong path is a very dark and deep and terrible path. And so even if you can't believe in the good, which can be very difficult, I think you have to be historically ignorant beyond moral acceptability not to believe in the evil that you're capable of, and to do everything you possibly can to constrain that. And I do believe that that's within your power. I'm hoping we wake up. We don't repeat the crimes of the 20th century, and that we move properly into a future that's better and better for all of us. And I do believe that not only can we do that, that it's actually happening. If you look at the macroeconomic news around the world, things are getting better for people all over the world, everywhere, in the poorest countries, faster than they ever have in recorded history. And we have the opportunity to continue that and to make something magnificent of what we have in front of us. The rule is, be careful who you tell good news to. You want to tell good news to someone who's happy that something has worked out for you, who isn't contrasting it with something good that's happened to them, but who can look at you and think, thank God you're in a better position than you were, and more power to you. And people trust me to tell me good things that have happened to them. And it's absolutely overwhelming. It's so positive. It's so unbelievable, and it happens everywhere. And it's extraordinarily heartening, but almost, in some sense, impossible to tolerate, because it took so little encouragement, for people to make an effort to put themselves together. And I can't understand why this isn't more widespread. I don't understand why what I've been lecturing about and what I've been writing about has had this effect on encouraging people. It's a mystery to me. I mean, it has something to do, I suppose, with my conviction about the power of truth. But it's so sad in some sense that there's so many thousands of people out there who are literally dying for a word of encouragement, for someone to tell them in some believable manner that there's far more to them than meets the eye, and that they're characteristic of great things. They have the capability of great things, and it's lying there in front of them in the form of the truth. And all they have to do is have the faith to implement that, and the courage, and then things start to straighten. And so that's treatment. If you love someone, you love a child, you love your sister or friend, you don't tell them to deal with the world in a deceitful manner. You don't tell them to lie to everyone that they meet and to do everything that they possibly can in the most crooked of possible manners. You encourage them to be who they could be and to take on the world forthrightly. And that works. And we all need to know that. And we all need to put the faith of our life in that, to bet our lives on it. You have to bet your life on something. You're always betting your life on something. You're always making a commitment to something. You make a commitment to the truth, and everything straightens out. We aim at the ideal, because what else are we going to aim at? And aiming at the ideal, that gives us the meaning of our life. And we need a meaning, because life is very difficult. And without that sustaining meaning, like without that belief that you're partaking in something of vital importance, to put yourself together, to see who you could be, to organize and bring together your family, and to make everything you possibly can of your state, then you don't have what you need in order to live properly. And I've been telling people that everywhere in the world, and they're responding with exceptional positivity. And although the press is on my case very frequently, and in some sense I have a bad reputation because of it, my day-to-day life is not like that at all, because when I walk down the street, people approach me all the time, dozens of people a day, and they tell me very straightforwardly that their life was difficult, that they were in some small corner of hell, that they were not telling the truth, that they had no vision for their life, that they were nihilistic, that they were wasting their time, that they were hopeless, and that they developed some sort of overarching vision and started to tell the truth and to serve themselves as if they were valuable creatures and to make peace in their family and to work at their career or their job diligently and honestly, and that everything has become much better as a consequence. And so the press issue is irrelevant, because I have hundreds of people or thousands of people who are telling me on a regular basis, no matter where I go, like here, that life has improved because they've started to put into practice the principles that I have not so much originated, but at least am trying to transmit. We can't forget this. We're sovereign individuals. We have an ultimate ethical responsibility, and we all share it equally. It's a strange thing, because it's one person who saves the world, but that person is you. And it's a strange thing that it can be one person who saves the world, and that at the same time it happens to be you. And so it doesn't matter what the press says. What matters to me is that there are more and more people who are doing what they can to grow up and to adopt responsibility for the suffering of the world and the malevolence of the world, and to set things straight and to learn that that's the essential core of their being, and to stand proudly and forthrightly and lay that claim out in the world.